up, you guys? This will be my second or third time trying to make this one video. I still have to make another video after this for Bluff City Law, but this video is for All Rise, episode 2, Long Day's Journey to ICE. With this episode, we only have 2 cases this time, and excuse me. Okay, sorry. Let's start with the first case. The first case is with Emily defending Leo, and we start off with looking at a video of him being thrown down to the ground and security climbing on top of him. So it's clear that he's the one that has been assaulted, but he's the one being charged with assault. So, excuse me. So Emily asked him, like, clearly you're the innocent one, so why do you think you're here and they're charging you? Because the security guard didn't have a scratch on him, nothing like that. And so he goes into this, like, monologue of inner cities not having fresh meat and fresh food. So they were in there trying to put warning labels on the food. And so, shut up. What was I saying? And so then the prosecutor was like, Your Honor, this is not, what is it? Like, we're not here for his sob story. And, sorry, I got noise in the background. They won't shut up. And so then as he's telling his story, a guy in a black coat comes and sits in the back of the courtroom. Now, there's really nobody in there, so of course everybody notices when he comes in. So, but then Leo's, like, story, excuse me, he keeps looking at that guy, so he's really not, like, focusing on Emily and telling his story. And so Judge Carmichael asks him, like, are you okay? Do you need a minute? And he looks back at the guy and he's like, I'm not for sure. So Judge Carmichael calls him up and says, who are you and why are you here? Come to find out, he's a federal agent with ICE and he's coming to try to take Leo. But there's supposed to be a law in California where, excuse me, where they're not allowed in court to try to come take anybody out and, you know, deport them or take them away. They're not allowed to do that. And so Leo, like, when he sees him and hears that, he books it. He's running, like, all around in the back in her chambers. And, excuse me, like, he basically, like, does a circle through the hallway and then comes back out into the courtroom, and they get him and they handcuff him, and he's placed in holding until this case is over and the federal agent can't touch him. You know what? I'm sorry. I know this video probably gonna be trash, but I'm still gonna upload it anyway because this is my like 3rd time attempting to try this, so just bear with me, please. Where was I? And so then she meets Judge Carmichael meets with the federal agent, and, you know, to reiterate her statement, like, you should have never been in my courtroom. You're trying to intimidate him. And, you know, if it was okay for you guys to just come in and take people wouldn't show up to court. They wouldn't want to testify. You know, justice would not be served because they would be too scared of you guys. And then he tells her that she could have, like, she'd get up to 20 years in jail, I guess, for, like, messing with the investigation or whatever. And she tells him, the next time I see you in my courtroom, you'll be the one in jail locked up. So what happens after that? After that, Emily goes to see him in jail, and she tells him his best bet, he would have 4 years in state prison, and when he gets out, the chief of police would have to report, you know, he's getting out, and then he would still be deported. But during that time, while he's in jail, he could find another place to give him asylum, but he wouldn't be able to get legal excuse me, he wouldn't be able to get legal, what is the word I'm looking for? He wouldn't be able to become a legal citizen in the U.S. because he's a criminal now. And so he accepts that, but then when they come back to court, the prosecutor wants to drop the case completely. And we find out that she had a meeting with the federal agent, and he told her it would be better to, like, I guess, be a part of the deporting him instead of, you know, just locking him up. So she was going to drop it, but Emily, like, caught it and was like, I see what you're doing, and we're not doing that. So then they go into Judge Carmichael's chambers, and she asks her too, like, did anybody talk to you, or did you talk to anybody? And she finds out that she also talks to that guy. So she's like, you're not doing that. I'll see you back in court. And Judge Carmichael also, she went looking for a non-violent crime. So Leo he would still have to go to jail, but it wouldn't be a violent crime and a felony. And it would just be a misdemeanor. And he would have less time. And when he got out of jail, the chief of police would not have to report that he's out of jail, and he would not be deported right then and there. So it's just like he would have to look out for himself, but technically that way he wouldn't be in trouble. And so, excuse me, his girlfriend, Leo has a girlfriend, because I'm trying to get through this as quickly as possible. Leo has a girlfriend. She went back to that same store that he got arrested in the first place, doing the same thing, trying to put warning labels on food to let people know that they're not getting fresh products, they're really buying old products. So she gets detained again, and Emily gets a phone call while she's talking to Luke. And quick sidebar, I want to walk back what I said last episode. I'm kind of seeing it for them now, but anyway, so when she shows up to the store, I think he's the store owner, he has his hand like on her shoulder, and she's like, you know, what's going on? And so she's saying, like, you know, I'm just here putting the warning labels. And he's like, that food, excuse me, I thought I felt another one. He was like, that food is still good, and you people. And so Emily like, who? Did you really just say you people? And he like, them, her and him. That's what I'm talking about. Them people tried to clean it up. And she looked at him and she was like, were you the one that called immigration? And he's like, I sure did. I sure did. Because I'm tired of them and, you know, just going on the whole thing. So then we're back in court, and Emily has the bag of like groceries that the girlfriend had. And she's like pulling all this stuff like, Your Honor, this is a month old. These are 6 months old. This is 3 years old. So they weren't committing a felony because he didn't touch anyone. He was just simply putting warning labels on this outdated food. And that's where the nonviolent crime came in, because you're not supposed to mess with labels on food, I guess. And so he got charged for that, and he only got 3 months instead of the 4 years. And you know, you can get out on good behavior, so at the most he would only have to serve a month and a half. And you know, that's the end of that, the best case scenario for Leo. And where we at? Case 2. So case 2 is Mark, what was it? Case of the stolen car. So there was a girl who, the guy said he got out his car, and please tell me I did not record a whole video with something just sitting in my head. This is like one of the worst videos, but it's still going up anyway. He got out of his car. I guess he like left the door open, and next thing you know, somebody jumped in the car and took off. And as soon as he asked him to identify who that person was, like, you know, do you see that person here in the courtroom today? He looks up and catches eye contact with this guy, and they like stare at each other, and he says no. So Mark is like walking around thinking he's about to like point, you know, like, oh, she's right there. And when the guy says no, he like whips around like, what you mean no? And he's like, I have a sworn statement from you that the defendant is the person who jumped into your car and took off. And he's like, I was mistaken. I was mistaken. And it like clicks in my head like, oh, you paid, like the dude in the I call it the gallery, out in the gallery, like, oh, you paid him off to say that she didn't do it, because it's like the defendant is his daughter, so you paid somebody off. So he wants to go after because he lost the case. Since the guy couldn't identify her as the one who did it, there's no case, there's no more witnesses, so she gets to leave and he loses his case. So now he wants to go after the dad for paying off the witness. And excuse me, he bonds with the daughter over how overbearing their dads are, and how it's just really like, you gotta live your life for you and don't let them tell you what to do. So in the end, the dad has to go to federal prison for 2 years because a CSI judge told him, because he tried to give like a cute speech like, I swear that I'll do right by inner city neighborhoods and I'm throwing myself at the mercy of the court, and Your Honor, I'm so sorry. And she was like, that's real cute and everything, but if I just let everybody get away with thinking they could pay themselves off from upholding the law, then I wouldn't be here. So yeah, 2 years in state prison. Thank you, have a nice day. And that was basically the episode. So I'm sorry, I'm just so over it. I just feel so bad because I recorded one video and it was good. It was 15 minutes long. It was short and sweet and I was happy with it. Now this video is just, it sucks. I know it sucks, but in my attempt of trying to record every day and stick to my shows that I'm doing, I'm gonna upload it. It's just gonna be a sucky video. So yeah, this is All Rise episode 2. I'm sorry the video is so terrible, and I hope to catch you next week with episode number 3, which looks like a good episode because what's going on? Luke. So it looks like Luke is going to be going for a morning jog, and the police, you know, jogging while black, he gets stopped, and we're going to see where they go with that. And yeah, sorry guys, see you later, peace.